Good evening. It's Wednesday, July 2nd, 2025 at 6 p.m. Calling the Lakeville Board of Health meeting to order. Is there anyone in the audience recording this? I see no one. LakeCAM is recording this. First on the agenda, 14 Edgewater Drive, meet with Zenith Consulting Engineers to discuss requested variance and local upgrade approvals. I'll turn it over to, I see Will coming up.
Good evening, Will Connolly, Zenith Consulting Engineers for the record. The site is 14 Edgewater Drive. It's an 18,500 square foot lot, which is bordered by Long Pond to the west. There's an existing 3-bedroom dwelling on site, which we're proposing to be raised. We're proposing the construction of a new 3-bedroom house with a 1,500 gallon microfast tank, 1,000 gallon pump chamber, and a stone and pipe leaching field. We are asking for a few local upgrades, reduction of the number of deep holes from 2 to 1, a reduction of the required setback between the leaching field and the well of the subject property from 100 feet to 70 feet, a variance for the reduction in the setback between the surface water supply and the leaching field from 400 feet to 100 feet, and then a variance for the reduction between the tanks and the surface water supply from 400 feet to 80 feet. So as you can see, we kind of squeezed the system up toward the road as much as we could. We pinned it against that property line. We were able to stay outside all the abutting well, 100 feet of them. And it's essentially going to be a remove and replace. The existing system is pretty much right where that proposed system is now, so I think that's about it. This already received conservation approval, so if there's any questions, I'd be happy to answer them.
Where it says the house to be raised, are they just putting that on the new foundation up front, or is that going to be demolished and gone?
That's going to be demolished and gone.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. And the old foundation, everything will be removed?
Correct.
Okay. Did you find any results on the water, on the well? Was the well tested already? Do we have any results?
I do not know. I know the client understands that he has to have the well tested prior to this being done, so not sure where we stand with that, but I can check in with the client.
Okay. Do you know if it's a deep well or a point? We have nothing in the file on it.
I do not know.
Any idea? Okay. So that'd be, my only question is just that well.
If this is the house I think it is, this isn't being sold. This is the same family just tearing down and building a new house. Yeah, so I'm pretty sure that's what it is.
Yeah, if that's the case, then they wouldn't have to do a
Yeah.
water test.
Right, because that's, when
Well,
you pull straight down Fuller Shores, there's a garage right in front and this house is set back off to the right.
I thought even though
Yeah.
it's within 100 feet, it's 70 feet, don't they have to regardless by Title V? You need a water test?
If you're
Even
doing
if-
a Title V inspection, you do, but if
Yeah.
you just upgrade your system, I don't think you do. I don't
Okay.
think we have anything that requires it. It's mainly a sale of a home.
Yeah, because this is not a transfer. This is just a
Okay.
family came into some money and they're tearing it down and building a new house.
I mean, I'd recommend it, especially since you're demoing the house
Yeah.
and the well is basically right next to the house.
Right.
So I'd recommend that they, disinfect it and everything after the demo, but, and have it tested afterwards.
That's-
Maybe you think it was a sale.
Right. Yeah, I don't know why it's under that one. See who it's under?
Yeah, he submitted it, but
Oh, okay, so he's just submitted, it's not.
That's just made me think it was a sale.
Okay. Yeah, I mean,
that's the Martin's house, right?
I'm not sure, honestly.
Yeah, no, because I know Eddie's gonna do the construction for her, and so Billy's probably doing the site work and probably helped her with the engineering.
yeah, so the tanks are further away, they're H20. It's a D-night system, so that's an upgrade. Everything's an upgrade furthest you can from the pond. It's pretty much back in, like you said, the same spot. Looks like he even raised it, you're 5 feet above the water table. There was one typo on the plan. On the D-box outlet, it just, that has to be changed to a 6. It says 05.67, should say
Yes.
6. So I don't know if we wanna draw, this is a file copy. We could hand draw that to a 6 if that was agreeable when we move on. That, and then the perk test was not in the field, obviously, because you couldn't.
Yeah, we do have a note,
Yeah,
under the
it's-
soil logs about
okay.
deep hole at time of construction to confirm.
Okay, that was the only other, so that's right on the plan. To determine there was 4 feet, we only had
The
4
4
feet, 1
feet and
inch.
water table and, yep.
Yeah, that's all I had on everything else.
Yeah, me too.
I mean, I would just encourage like to check the well, and now's the time. If you're gonna move it now. And I mean, I don't think it's gonna help with buffers and stuff, but
They're not moving the well.
no, I'm just saying, like if it was bad or if it was
Oh, okay.
shallow or
Okay.
whatever, like if there's, we have no information, that's why. I mean, saying I would
Yeah, I mean, they
encourage
could-
them to check it.
They could actually re-drill it, like once they demo the house, then put it actually closer to the pond. That would be.
Yeah, I mean, it's not gonna help with the buffers, but just to make sure that, you know, while they're doing all the work, you know, make it easier on themselves.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
why I'd recommend
Other
also
than that-
testing the well. I mean,
Other than that, everything was
Protecting
mentioned, is
it
good
when
for
they
me.
do the demo.
did you have any other comments?
No, just about trying to protect that well, if you're gonna reuse it and disinfect it and test it afterwards.
Especially if it's a shallow point, I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah, down gradient too.
it is down gradient, it's
Is
still down gradient now from the old system, so.
But they've lived there for 2 generations, so.
Anyone here to speak on this one? No? Yeah, I don't know, no butters, I don't have, do we have to notify any of butters for this one, or it's just, to the pond? Did you notify the Taunton Water? On this one or no?
That is a good question.
Sometimes I know some people say you don't have to, that you guys normally do.
It's-
I don't know if you did. Do we have any cards on this one, Ed?
We don't have any cards, you usually give them to me now, but, yeah, normally you guys do, you're supposed to notify both New Bedford and Taunton.
Without holding up a vote on that? I know they don't usually get back to us.
What's that?
In 15 years, they've never.
Did you have it for
Not for
conservation?
repairs, they
Yeah,
pretty much
but
said that.
I don't think we would have had to,
It's not, it's a different notification.
Yeah.
But- But if you had notified them, then they would know. You know what I
yeah.
mean? They would know for us, not just for conservation, if you did notify them for conservation. You know what I mean? I can't remember the requirement on that.
Question on that one, Ed? Is that still okay, or would they need to notify, because,
Yeah, you are supposed to notify them.
Is that something I can check on real quick?
Yeah.
yeah, you wanna,
Just didn't get anything before.
I think other than that, I
I mean,
don't.
basically, right now, it's a repair. If they didn't tell us they were tearing down the house, it'd just be a repair and they wouldn't have to notify anyone.
Cause,
Well, still the tanks.
I
are
believe when you
within 4
first
feet.
were gonna do it,
Absolutely.
you didn't make it.
Yeah, but
It
they
would have
never
been the
deny
last meeting,
repair.
but you didn't
No,
have
they
time
don't.
to
It's just
notify
a
them. That's why you got.
Formality,
notified.
formality.
So I believe they were aware of it, so.
Yeah.
So,
You're supposed to notify
Yeah,
the
'cause I
by
did-
Title V.
correct, but I was saying that, I think when they first submitted this was, submitted back on June 10th.
Yeah.
So they technically could have made the June 16th if it wasn't for the abutters. So we pushed it to July because of the abutters, so.
Okay, so he probably
I
just doesn't
I
have the
think
cards.
someone did notify him, it's just probably didn't get brought to us today.
Yeah, because I remember we had a big debate 10 years ago on one of these, that they were arguing they didn't need to notify City of Taunton because they weren't a landowner or something. And I think town council said they did.
They did need to be notified.
They did.
We've done it in everyone. But usually they just, well, you always see them, they just come up and
Hey,
give you
Jay,
the
sorry to bother you.
notice.
Do you happen to know if we notified Taunton Water for 14-inch water? I didn't have anything prepared, so. No. No. Hey, Niles. No worries. Do you happen to know for 14 Edgewater if we notified Taunton Water? I didn't have anything prepared for this. Okay. I just did. She doesn't know.
They could just come back to another meeting.
Yeah, unless they're a hurry or something they need,
I mean,
or,
Can we do a contingent?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, just make it contingent upon.
Well, the thing too
If there's
is,
an issue, we'll just do another meeting.
I mean, the big issue is the well, so you guys, they don't care about the well, they only care about the tanks in the field within the 400.
Yeah.
So you can definitely approve that one, and then be contingent on the other ones, and then, whatever, I would just, you know.
Yep. So.
Like if they
figure
came
out-
back with this as a repair, then wouldn't even be a question what they're
Okay.
doing.
Sounds good.
or even on a repair, they need to.
They gotta get
notify.
notified, but they're not gonna say
Yeah.
nothing.
No,
Okay.
but it's, like
Alright.
you said,
In
it's just,
15
we have
years,
to-
they've never
yeah.
said
We
We
anything.
do have to notify them.
They never answer us.
You weren't involved in the last one.
yeah,
They did. But he's dead.
yeah, that's what I was talking about.
Yeah,
That's one
that
we-
was a big one.
That was a
Yeah.
big one.
Yeah, we went to town council,
I
and
guess
they
I'm glad I
said they
missed
didn't
it
have
then.
to, and that's where I remember
Hey,
that
so what do you
from.
got? You don't know?
He said he's 99% sure, but I don't have the
We can
proof.
do a contingent.
Contingent upon, if not,
You know,
you
if,
gotta
if
come
it
back.
turns out that somebody wants to say something, then we'll just come back to a meeting, but if not, I can sign off on it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
we can just send over the proof.
And if
And
not,
then-
you'll have to come back, you'll have to notify and come back if the abutters were not, well, not the abutter, but if Taunton Water was not
Right.
notified,
Yep.
and
So-
everything. Looks fine to me. And everybody okay with just handwriting on that D-box outlet a 6, make that 0 into a 6, or not?
Yeah,
Not
fine.
either? Okay. I'm fine with everything, I don't, and we're not gonna make it, I would still like a well test, I mean, I know, but I think within 70 feet, I would at least know what the well is, I mean, especially where you demo the house up against it,
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know, we do have rule that says you don't need to if you don't want to sign CO, but
Yeah, it's for the certificate of compliance, and if it's not a transfer, you can upgrade your septic. Because like I said, we don't want to prevent people from upgrading the septic, so I think that's part of the reason. So, you know. And this would be an improvement on the well. So like I said, if you do test the well now, it's gonna reflect the old septic rather than the new, so. But
is everybody okay without, if they don't want to do a water test? I guess we don't want to make it and just
I
recommend.
think Mrs. Martin's in her 90s, so I don't think the water's bad.
No. It'd be nice if that state stuff would finally kick in at some point and make lives easier with these things.
Chris, go ahead and make the motion. I'm okay with whatever you guys want to do.
Yeah, I would highly suggest, but I don't know, can we stop it? Yeah.
We can make the motion contingent on whatever you want. I mean, it's within 70 feet,
yeah, you can condition it.
but if you don't want to, you could recommend.
But I think we can recommend. I don't think we can make them if it's not a transfer, can we?
Yeah, because you're granting a waiver, so you can condition it based on.
A good well test.
Well test.
All right.
Now, it's not based on a passing well test, it's just based on that you actually test it. Because like I said, if it fails, if it fails, it wouldn't be prudent to not approve the system because this is gonna improve the well, you know, so you wouldn't make it contingent, like, we're only gonna give you the approval if it passing, with a
Right.
passing test, but you can say just for the knowledge of the people there, because I know people don't like to test their well, but it's just good to know that what your water has. And that way, if you don't want, if you still want to use it, that's fine, but just don't drink it, whatever, use it for shower or whatever like that. But you should be aware of what's in your water.
All right. Go ahead, Chris.
Yeah, that was the motion.
All right, I'll make a motion, we approve the subsurface sewage disposal system upgrade at 14 Edgewater Drive with the 5 variances contingent upon, we get the notifications that, Taunton and Bedford were notified, and also a test of the well, just to make sure that it's in good condition.
And changing that elevation on the plan.
Oh. And the elevation change on the outlet elevation of the D box from 05.67 to 65.67.
I'll second that.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Thanks, Will.
All right.
Thanks,
Will.
You too.
Good one. Next on the agenda, 9 Heritage Hill Drive, meet with Foresight Engineering to discuss local upgrade requests. Darren, coming up. Turn it over to you, Darren.
Darren McHale from Foresight Engineering. On behalf of the property owner, 9 Heritage Hill. So we got a failed system, 2 leach pits. We weren't exactly sure where the second leach pit is, but it's somewhere near the north end of the system in the brush. We're gonna be taking out the old tank. We'll remove that 1 leach pit, and the other leach pit will be filled with sand. Proposing a standard conventional pump system. There's a slight mound. We didn't see water out there at 10 feet, but we know the water's held up on that soil. That's the dark gray color, so we called it right on top of that. We got a very good perk rate for the area. So we were able to meet all the setbacks to all the wells. So it's just a variance to the groundwater from 4 to 3 feet, and a variance from the tank inlets to groundwater just because it's a slab and there's no way to raise the pond.
Okay, I see you calling for H20 tanks.
Yeah, they're
the-
deep in the ground.
Yeah, and the water inverts within a couple of tenths of the
Yeah.
septic tank. It doesn't say monolithic on the H20, but I'm pretty
Does
sure.
Oh yeah,
On the-
monolith H20,
On the
yeah.
pump it does, but this one it doesn't. But I think that one, I
Okay.
think anything with the rubber booties, I'm pretty sure H20 is monolithic.
That's fine.
Not mistaken. And the water, even though the tank's full all the time, but the water's
Yeah.
above the seam, you don't want to leak out into the water.
Yep,
Because
no
you're not-
problem. Yeah, it's all wells. The wells across the street are right down gradient from us, so that makes sense.
That and the only, I see you did adjust the, from where the perk elevation to you called the water, 102 contour to 98.
Yep.
I know I'm usually always the one that's the stickler on
Yeah, I tried to bring it up as
Calling
much
the-
as possible, and
the water table, 'cause especially where you've got this huge slope coming down to this, almost a
Yep.
10-foot slope, so there's big hill coming down to this.
yep.
Um,
Yeah, it's all been cut out. That entire hill has been removed. You can
Removed.
kind of see that.
where it comes out.
The house beside us is a full walkout, and they have leach
Yep.
pits down in their low area there.
What, so you call the 102, which is through, not the center, but the third of the field closer to
Right.
the D box. I mean, I'm guessing probably 102.5 would be more of that overdig where the water's coming down the hill. Would you agree? Or you
Yeah, I mean,
don't
it's one of those
think
where
so?
we never really saw evidence of water at all. It's just the material change.
Yeah.
So we're really being safe. So I don't think 6 inches on a slope is gonna, we're not gonna be in the water table or any closer than anyone thinks. I don't think it runs right there. We didn't see any modeling at all. It
Yeah.
probably runs in that layer somewhere, but we're not sure where.
And this is the street in Heritage Hill that the water doesn't run out
Yeah, the
around
street,
on?
you can see the
It runs
street
out
is
of the
almost
old
5
house.
feet below us. Yeah, there's no water bleeding out of the ground. The houses across the street probably have water in their basement, but they have full foundations. Their walkouts still going down that steep slope in their backyards.
Yeah, the water runs out where, this way more.
Down towards Old Pothouse Road, it runs almost year round.
Yeah, it pours out right in the street. And the lower part is a lot worse.
Yeah, we're on the high end over by the clubhouse, so we're in near Assawamsett, Assawamsett Core, which is decent soils for that area. We haven't seen a lot of water table over there.
We have seen water table in some of the other ones
Yeah,
on Heritage Hill.
yeah,
I mean,
I agree.
definitely. So it's not like right around 3-4 feet as well. So it's not, it wasn't an anomaly or anything like that. But like I said, it's not as bad as Old Powder House. Old Powder House it's usually around 2-3 feet, you know,
I
and
thought I
it
had an
pours out.
irrigation leak when I bought the place, cause water never stopped running.
Yeah, it's weird up
Yeah.
there.
It's just really tight with the grading. That's the only reason you can see
Yeah,
my
no,
101 contour is like
yeah.
almost right to the property line. Luckily, Prime did a survey of the property next to us, so I was able to find both rebars. So I'll be able to stake that property line when they do it. So there won't be any encroachment on the neighbor, but then we're just pushing water towards the house.
Okay.
Because we're already a foot above the ground, foot and a half above the ground at the house. There's not a lot of room for this water to go.
Yeah, I'm okay going, like you said, giving it the foot. I'm not, I just want to be on the conservative side of the
Yep.
highest grade of where that 4 to 3 is, just to make sure that they don't have any water, any problems with the system in the future. Is there rubber liner around this one, or do you?
Yeah. Yeah.
Full liner?
Yeah, full liner all the way
Oh,
around.
down the bottom, okay.
I literally drive by there every day. I've never seen water running there.
No, so,
Up the hill, yeah, definitely.
And the liner will be right at the water table almost, where we're putting the liner at 99, we call the high models at 98.
so coming down the hill, it might help, because you're
Yeah.
towed down to 99.
Right.
So the water would have to go
Underneath us.
underneath you, what you call water, 98.
And we could bring the liner down to 98 if you wanted to.
To stop it.
I got enough liner there. I'm only using 3 feet of liner, so I got an extra foot there if I need it.
Are you comfortable we call the water table, Ed? I mean, that wasn't on the perk. It's, I just wanna.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, it wasn't clear or definite, but we kind of guessed, so if it's off a couple inches, I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah, I wouldn't be, I'm not that confident that it's right there, so, yeah, give or take 6 inches, so if he's, the 6 inches, I'm not gonna fight about, you know? Like I said, because it wasn't, when it's clear and really we know exactly where it is, then I would put up more of a fight, but in this case, I do believe it's there.
Yeah.
I don't think we just picked a number, but whether it's at 4 feet or 4.5 feet, it could definitely vary there.
Okay.
And what it happens is it gets tighter as you go down. So it definitely, you know, it's not an abrupt change where you're going from one layer to another and it's hitting that layer and running off, which happens down an old powder house.
Yeah.
It's more of a gradual change. So it's not, you don't get that cleared line, but like I said, it is there. And I do believe like in April and May, you would see more of it. But just for me, I'm okay with 4.5, you know, if
Yeah, we
it
can bring
could
the
find
liner
possibly-
down though. If you want to bring the liner to
Down to
98,
98.
that forces everything downward. You can
Just
fix
so
that.
any water coming down that hill, you,
Yep, we'll just intercept it.
I'm good with that.
there's no one here to talk to this one, want to speak on it. Any other comments on this one, Ed? I think that was, I don't think you had any other comments on this one, did I believe?
I think there's a typo somewhere in the system.
No way.
Come on, every plan has
My
to have one.
reviewer over here is gonna dispute that.
Every plan has to have one.
Yeah, you did say there was something, I think. I know there was one on the last one, I remember, but what was this one?
Some random construction line in the middle of the field.
No, there was something.
Oh, yeah. Is
Well,
in
you
the
want that
field?
to be monolithic, right?
Yeah, I think your field says you have a 20 by 30 and then you also have a 15 by
Okay,
35.
Oh, okay, that was it,
15 by
yes.
35.
Just to clarify that,
Yep.
so it's,
Yep, I have in 2 different spots.
And
So-
change the tank to monolithic too.
Yep, change that. So I'll make those 3 revisions.
So is it a 20 by 30 or is it
It's a
a,
15 by 35.
so
The
that's,
20 by 30 would have been a 4-bedroom, and we can't increase flow.
okay.
So I kept it just under the 4-bedroom. I wanted basically as big as I could without getting the 4-bedroom. The house does have other rooms that kind of meet bedroom definition, but they were always just designed for 3. It's limited to 3 for nitrogen, so.
Cool.
And how many, with 30,000, so you just meet the 3 bedrooms, so you don't
Yep.
need a D-night? And you can get the variance to water table, because you don't have that variance. And the other variance you're asking for doesn't trigger anything. Yeah, I don't see anything else on it.
Good.
I'm good.
I'll make a motion, we approve the sewage disposal system upgrade design at 9 Heritage Hill Drive with the 2 variances and what was the
3
monolithic on the
Monolithic on this tank
tank? And I think he already had the booty note.
in the correct field size.
98 on
an
the bottom of
adjustment
the
to the-
liner.
Adjustment to the field size to 15 by 35 on the notes, in the system capacity notes.
And the liner
And
to
then
get down
the
another
liner
foot.
going down to 98.
I'll second that.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
All right,
Aye.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks.
Have a good one.
Have a good one.
thank you guys.
Good
See you,
night.
bud.
See you, bud. All right, next on the agenda, review and approve meeting minutes as typed for April 2nd, 2025. We'll do one at a time. We have 2 meeting minutes, but we'll do April 2nd. All 3 members were present at this meeting. I am good with them. I have no.
I'm good.
I am too. I'll make a motion that we approve the meeting minutes from April 2nd, 2025 as typed.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Next, review and approve meeting minutes as typed for April 16th, 2025. All 3 members were also present for this one. I have no problems with the meeting minutes.
I'm good.
I'll make a motion that we approve the meeting minutes from April 16th, 2025 as typed.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Next on the agenda, discuss recent Board of Health agent pending items. And we'll put announcements in with that also. So we'll turn it over to Ed for pending items.
No pending items, just, there were 2 more mosquito samples that contain West Nile virus. So we have, Shrewsbury, Falmouth, and Watertown, so nothing really close to here, but it's just, this happens every year.
Matter of time.
Yes.
It's coming.
Is it Falmouth? Is that an unusual spot for it or no?
West Nile is kind of everywhere. I mean, like even in Watertown, we really don't see it, like, but Tripoli is primarily the southeastern portion.
Yeah,
which is-
but I thought West Nile was primarily like central, like,
Yeah, there's definitely, the central and, Worcester, usually there's more of it out there, I guess. But you see in some of the North Shore, even around Boston, I think in Quincy and things like that,
Anything else?
Nope.
You guys good?
Anything else? I'm good. I have no announcements.
Motion to adjourn?
second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye.